everybody. Good morning. Good morning.
What's going on, everybody? Y'all doing good morning. Welcome into the Keisa and Joe Show. What's up, Keis?
Nothing much. We are being serenaded, and I'm actually adding a new audience today. Boom. Hitting Instagram Live this morning. Oh, yeah, it went.
Okay, it went.
Now. Hey, say what now?
So now you lie.
Okay.
Now you lie.
Let me rub your beard. That'll take things down just a little bit with you
You
today.
just want to touch my beard. How y'all doing this morning? It's okay.
Hope y'all are doing great. It's okay.
I'm not like y'all women. No. Don't touch me.
Well, that's right. This is correct. Don't touch my hair. Don't do it. I have a question for you.
Sure.
So you said something. I'm about to wrap you out.
Already? We just not gonna ask me how I'm doing. Just you're gonna jump into it, say hey to the audience, let them know where we are.
Hey,
Just want to jump
Carly.
into how y'all doing. We
Hey,
at
Ricky,
the Filter Coffee
Keisa,
Party
and
this
Joe.
morning.
That's right. Okay. You're right. Let's exchange some
Like,
pleasantries.
I mean, you just want to get right into business this morning.
I'm Keisa, and I'm here with Joe.
I'm Joe.
Hey, Ann for Life. How are you doing this morning? Hey, we are talking relationship trauma. Sorry, our producer's saying, look here. So Instagram folks, please forgive me, but you have a side view to what's going on. So good morning and happy Wednesday. And Joe, I will just say this. I was telling you that we've got great weather today, and I was telling you that I noticed that there are just a lot of people who are out and moving and hustling and bustling.
Yes.
Not everybody. Not everybody.
And they
is
are
working.
probably working. They're just working differently now. People are working from home, online, and stuff like that. So COVID changed a lot.
COVID changed a whole bunch of things.
Yeah.
How many of our viewers out there, how many of you actually have an opportunity to work remote and do your thing because of COVID? Hey, Michelle. Hey, Tammy. Hey, your cousin, Miss DT.
Hey, DT's in the house. What's going on?
Hey, good morning. Good morning, y'all. Good morning. How many of you all actually have an opportunity to work remote due to COVID? I always raise my hand. I'm able to do that in most instances
I did
or whatever
not.
it changed.
I was at the radio station every day.
You were at the radio station every day?
Mm-hmm.
Even with COVID?
We was on the front lines because we was the ones, to keeping everybody
that's true.
abreast of everything. So.
That's true. That's true. You have to show up.
I think in the labs.
You were where?
I was in the labs. They was testing.
Oh, really?
They are testing on a few of the animals.
Yeah. Oh, you were in labs. So you had to.
At that time during COVID, I was working for UAB.
Oh, wow.
That's why he all messed up now.
I'm not going to take you talking about nephew. Nephew is our behind the scenes producer.
That's why
I'm not going to take you talking about nephew this morning.
That is why. See, and now
I'm going to draw the line.
But I didn't know that about him. See, that is why. Okay.
Speaking of trauma, maybe today is a good show.
No wait. That's why
maybe today is a good show for him.
He got a little close to.
We still beefing.
What are y'all
I got a
beefing
diss track coming out. I'm trying to tell you.
What are y'all
I'm trying to
beefing
get my
about?
bass right, huh?
What are y'all beefing about?
I don't even remember what we're beefing about.
I know, right? That they're always beefing.
I don't know what we're beefing about, but
like
there's a beef.
Drake, Kendrick Lamar.
Right.
They're just constantly beefing. And who else? J. Cole.
Right.
Throw all of it in there.
Right.
Jay, Joe Lockett.
So you'll be J. Cole.
I think who was the one nephew? We're talking about this beef that I noticed with Drake, and who else did I mention? J. Cole, and it was a third person, Kendrick Lamar. Is it J. Cole, the one who said he had a spiritual experience?
Right.
I read that. Now I don't keep in touch with all of that stuff, but if you all have kept up with any of the beefs with the rappers, I think they utilize it to sell more goods. But all I know is that that Drake and Kendrick Lamar have a beef going. They're at each other.
They had it. It's over.
Okay, it's over. Great. But J. Cole stood up in the midst of it and said, hey, something wasn't right in my spirit about this. Right. And nephew said I would be the one who would beat J. Cole, and he's absolutely right. I'd be like, hey y'all, wait, we don't need to be doing this. We're a team because I'm this collaborator. So anyway, yeah.
I'm just wondering why we're talking about 3-week-old news. Because she got to be out the loop. Cause the beef been over how long?
I told you I didn't really. I told you I didn't really keep up with it.
Forgive my co-host. It's okay. It's okay. When she get the information, think of what I love about you is when the information comes, it's like this is brand new information. I'm like, no.
No. I'm more refined, and I just don't keep up with hood news like some people.
I don't either. I got a hood.
Yes,
I got a
you
hood
do.
partner. I got a hood partner.
No,
That makes
speaking
me
of,
hood.
no. Let's go ahead. Since he wants to start beefing with me already, let me go ahead and start beefing with him this morning. Let me tell you what he did. Tell the good people what you told me this morning because it's something I did. And he said, you know what? That's the very reason right there. You doing that stuff. That's why I don't want to. Tell him what you said.
What did I say?
You don't remember? Let me help him out.
What did I say?
He said, "See, you asked. I think I asked him if he was going outside. I was like, where are you
Oh, I
going?"
told you to mind your business. I just grown for stuff over here. Stay out my business.
He said, "Stay out of my business." I said, "Where are you going?" He said, "Stay out of my business."
And then I said,
And
and
then
then
he
I
said-
said, this is why I'm not in a damn relationship because I don't want nobody to ask me when I get up, where the hell am I going? Exactly what I said. Yes.
It makes no sense, but then again, nephew, is exactly why our topic today is on trauma.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he can't heal.
Huh?
Because you snap at people when they just ask you a simple question and trying to make conversation. You just snap. See, that's why I'm not in a relationship. Really? I was just.
But you
What am I doing?
you're stepping across the line. You know what I'm saying? You're stepping across that line. You know what I'm saying? Don't be.
I'm your friend. I'm your friend. I'm just checking on you, make
And
sure
you need
you're
to stay.
okay.
Hey, and you need to stay in a friend's place.
Oh.
When I get up and walk,
Oh.
okay, I don't need. Hey, listen.
Oh.
When I get up and walk, I don't need you to talk. I don't need you to say nothing to me.
So, do I need to rename you? What's his name? Turner. Tina Turner's husband. Ike? Yeah.
I don't know. We ain't married.
Are
See,
you
that's
Ike?
just, no. See,
Are
we
you
ain't,
Ike?
No, we ain't in
No, I
no
agree.
relationship.
No, I agree.
So that's just why we
And
got no problem.
We have, yes, we do.
No, we don't.
but
See, you got a problem about the wrong stuff. I ain't the man. See, this is what I'm talking about. You acting like you acting.
He is
Y'all
case
see my
study.
point.
He is case
Y'all
study
see my
number
point.
one. My point number one about why
Before we get into this show today about how traumatized we both are,
I'm
just
not
me.
traumatized.
Okay.
Ike,
Okay, thank you.
hello,
But
friend.
before we get into this traumatizing stuff, right? Y'all check this out. Today, guess whose birthday it is?
Whose?
Mayor Wolfen.
Sure is.
Happy birthday, Mayor.
Happy birthday, Mayor Woodfin.
It is
Happy
his birthday today.
birthday. We got some friends on, and I want to
What's going on,
acknowledge.
y'all? What's going on?
Y'all, I'm looking on the computer right here to acknowledge you. Unlanders Joseph.
That's Miss J.
Okay, Miss
That's Lady
J.
J.
Okay, Barry Cade. Hey, I never got a chance. Michelle says I never got a chance to work remote. I did, Michelle. I made it
Hey,
a
how y'all
point to
doing,
do that. Barry Cade. Good morning, Keisa and Joe. Miss Rachel is on. Hey, Rachel. And then Miss Tammy is on. And Miss J said, Ike. That's who you all rename him Joe Ike. What are you laughing at? What are you laughing at?
The people who watching the show, me and Niffy, don't worry about it. You keep talking to folks.
What are you doing?
Keep talking to people. Go ahead.
Y'all watch him because he's doing.
I haven't done. Did I do anything?
He's on some.
He didn't do that.
It wasn't that.
He
It wasn't me. No. It wasn't no.
They do understand.
Yeah, it's just like I said, people watching the show, they got it.
He's on one this morning, as they say. So I'm gonna have to keep my eye on you. So let me ask you a question. How are you
Keisa.
doing today? Yes,
How you doing?
I'm doing great. Actually, I am.
You look good.
Yeah, thank you.
Looking all, Are you doing something different here? You looking fresh, happy. What's going on? She glowing. She got a glow about her, right?
Well, you know what though? Seriously, what I am doing,
Mm-hmm.
I've really reformed my diet,
Okay.
and I mean to a serious degree, reforming my diet, losing some weight.
Mhm.
That's been hard to lose because I was talking to a friend yesterday who's in the medical profession, and
Right.
she was just saying, you are military, so as far as your training and everything, I think that's just a core of who you are.
Mhm.
Working out and all of that kind of stuff, but we are the 50 and Fabulous crew, and ladies, I will say that we're the 50 and Fabulous crew. For some folks, it just comes easy. I mean, this guy doesn't even look like he has an ounce of body fat on. I mean, I'm just saying. But for me, I have to work at it, and I think, but you do too.
Hey, he knows me better than bro. What am I constantly doing most every day?
I pull up, be in the dungeon.
What does that
working
mean?
out.
Working out.
I'm down in the dungeon working out. I mean,
So
I put it in.
so you put it in like every day? You make sure every day that you're going to get
If
a
I
workout.
don't work out, I make sure I'm eating more better the days I don't work out. I don't
Okay.
work out every day. At my age, I'm not able to work out every day. And I don't need to work out every day. But
Okay.
I work out anywhere from 3 to 4 times a week.
Yeah. I definitely walk every day because I have a dog. And y'all, we're going to talk about our topic in just a little while, trauma or whatever. But you know, all of this, I believe, goes into, don't you think, as part of being over 50, your health? Because if you're not feeling good about yourself, you're taking baggage. I found that with me. I'm taking baggage into a relationship and into dealing with other people.
I do agree with that. So I'm really glad that they're here. What we're going to do to talk about. I'm really happy that we're going to be talking about traumatizing in relationships, friendships, family ships, marriage, and all of this stuff. I'm really happy to talk about that. But before we get into that, I do want to talk about the newspaper you got right here. What we got going on?
Hey, I want to say hello to the Birmingham Times. I'm a contributor to the Birmingham Times, and I always encourage you all. You know, we're at Filter. Thank you, Coffee Parlor on this Wednesday. Let me take my glasses off. We're at Filter Coffee Parlor on the South Side. So I want you all, when you get a chance, to come and give them a shout out. They have some copies of the Times here, but this is part of the Birmingham Beat Bullies, a local dance crew that they're featuring on the cover here. So it's on the inside. Take a look at that. What else do they have in here? Husband and wife. I don't know if you're familiar with Lamar and Tiffany Story. They're featured.
The life massage.
Yeah, he's
that's my boy. Yeah.
Life Touch Massage, and she actually is a counselor, has counseling services. So they are two entrepreneurs who are doing the doggone thing. So lots of other things in there. We want always encourage you to check out this edition of the Birmingham Times, because it covers stories that affect our community. And y'all are on this morning, so let me go ahead and put a plug in. Again, we're going to be talking about relational trauma. And let me go ahead and say, Tammy says, I'm ready for this topic, Lady J. Y'all are ready. And let's go ahead and start with you all. We're not getting to this topic yet. If you've dealt with any relationship trauma, or if you have any questions for us, you can go ahead and do that. Relationship trauma, or if you have any questions for us.
And also, the part of this show is brought to you by, I used some kind of skin scrub this morning that you gave me. And the way my skin looks and the way my hair is blowing is because of the skin scrub. So where can they go get that skin? I love that skin scrub. Fellas, you need to go get my latest skin scrub. I'm serious. If y'all see me glowing,
seriously, for the especially for the guys who have the nice bald cut, nice neat bald shaved look.
I left that in my truck. I have it.
You do?
Yeah.
It is wonderful for your.
I tell you what, why don't you do the show? I'm gonna go get it.
Go get it.
Yeah, do the show. Go talk to me.
Okay. So what he's talking about, as we get ready to prepare for our topic today on trauma, he'll be back. He'll be back, y'all. So like and share the broadcast. But we want you to, if you have not tried our products for allshaynaturals.com, I'm going to encourage you to do that. We focus on two main products. One is a shea butter, and number two, look who's joining me. Number two is a sugar scrub.
That get a little darky out of there.
Show that the light skinned men still trump the darkies, right?
Look, I gotta put in the work. he just gets to show up. So you feel me?
This is the guy who's behind the scenes, who's helping us, who has it all nicely lit and all that kind of stuff. What do you want the good people to know today? He has such a pleasant personality and such a mild-mannered way about him.
I like dealing with you because Joe just behaves.
Oh, Joe is
he
rough.
Just behaves.
He's rough. He's rough.
That's why I do stuff for you, Miss Keisa. He gotta act.
So what's going on with you today? What do you have going?
I'm working. And
trying to help y'all with these shows, ma'am.
Yeah, trying to get the stuff set up, making everything look good and light and right and glistening.
Yes. Hey, Marvin. Yeah, he came in and just he's back, y'all.
Ooh. You know what?
Just rude. Just rude.
That's crazy.
Oh my God, he is walking around carrying the sugar scrub in his car. But thank you, because this is perfect as a prop. You all, let me just say, this is our sugar scrub. And for the gentleman, if you have a gentleman in your life who does have the bald look, it's wonderful for that. It's going to be a sugar, brown sugar.
I'm a newly bald.
Are you newly bald?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
So I'll definitely
wonderful.
be using that.
Okay, maybe he'll allow you to have this since he's driving around with it in his truck.
Yeah, he ain't using it.
He's not even using it. Oh, did you?
Wow.
Oh, wow. Thank you. No.
Wow. See, this is
We're just wondering why he's driving around.
I don't need no enemy.
Oh, wait.
I'm sitting here promoting her stuff.
Thank you.
I brought it today for her.
Thank you.
And this is
All Shay Naturals. www.allshaynaturals.com for your brown sugar scrub and your shea butter. The two main products that we do is certainly not all, but we want you to go there. People love their shea butter. People love their sugar scrub for the summer. And listen, you're able to use this. Thank you for opening that for me. You're able to use this, and for so many people, you don't even need lotion after you apply it. And the way that you do this is you're going to apply it. Normally, people are going to do it in the shower, and you take your shower and you do it as a last step. It's sort of a body conditioner, and you apply it and you rinse off and pat dry.
And it kills a lot of the white stuff, the dead cells
on your scalp and everything.
Yeah.
And it does it naturally. A lot of people like the fragrance, but I'm Miss All Natural chick. I would prefer all natural, but hey, we have all kinds of fragrances on there.
So you talk about me, I'm still looking out for you.
You always look out for me, and that's why we appreciate you. I am
now she wanted to say she's looking out for me, right? Listen. I'm just saying at the end of the day. But yeah, we got a great show lined up for you today. Honestly, talking about trauma in relationships, friendships, familyships. Right? How do you deal with it? How have you dealt with it? We're gonna be talking about this, but put it in the comments. Have y'all dealt with trauma, right? How do you deal with trauma? And sometimes when you're dealing with trauma and you want to get a relaxation, get you something, you can do a shameless plug.
Shameless. Allshaynaturals.com. Speaking of shameless, I have it scrolling across the bottom of my screen.
Yeah.
Go and order you some if you have not tried it. So it's for the men and the women. Hey, y'all, we are speaking to the good people, sorry, y'all, who are passing by here at Filter Coffee Parlor on the Birmingham South Side. So again, allshaynaturals.com. And I thank you so much for doing that.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, now you want to be nice. Look at it. You want to look at this.
I can't help it.
Yeah, because I was thinking about you.
Yeah, you are.
See?
Thank you.
See? She
Thank
didn't
you.
even have her own. See, the question should have been, now, why is he driving around with products? And why don't I have my own products in my car advertising my own? That should have been the question.
That's a great question.
Why is my friend, okay? Why is my friend got my stuff coming on the show, promoting on our show, and I'm...
Because you have my back, that's why.
Hey, no crap, Sherlock.
Because you have my back,
exactly.
That's why. Oh, we're just giving nephew his coffee this morning. Yeah, nephew made my day coming here and sitting down.
All right, so this is a topic that's just very dear to your heart. So hey everybody, again, welcome into the show. Let's get into trauma and why was this? Because you hit me with this and you really wanted to talk about it. So I'm going to kind of follow your lead and let's go.
So when we talk about trauma, and I'm not going to get preachy, I want to hear from you all because Miss Tammy, okay, you said you're ready for the topic, okay? Sure. So I want you to tell me your experience or what you think about it. But let me just start off. Let me hit you with a question on this. When you think about trauma, okay, and I loved how you expanded it out because a lot of times, when we think about trauma, we're a dating and relationship show for the 50 and over, but trauma can be in any relation. Yeah, it can affect anybody. It can be in any relationship. So when I say trauma, when you think about trauma, what do you think about? What do you think trauma is?
I think trauma, you would say something that's bad or something bad happened to you, right? Where it puts you in a state that you didn't know how to deal with, you was afraid, you was embarrassed, and you wanted to keep it a secret. Most traumatized situations are something that happened to you behind closed doors, a lot of times, and you don't know how to deal with it. You don't know if you really want to deal with it. You don't want people to know about it. Yeah. So when I think about trauma, and now, this is a new term. It's an old word, but a new term that we are making more public now. As people watching the show, you hear about mental illness and you hear about people being traumatized now, right? And how do you deal with trauma? Yeah. We didn't used to talk about that before. No. This was before what it was called, a family secret.
Yes.
It was called a family.
Yes.
We knew what it was, but it was the family secret nobody never talked about.
Yes.
Trauma was called, especially when I grew up, it was called the family secret.
Yes.
Which the family secret was, because it's a secret, guess what? We never dealt with it.
Yes.
Because now we're calling it trauma.
Yes. Now
people are able to talk about it because it's more so acceptable to talk about whatever you've been through or whatever happened to you.
Yeah. I think that's a great definition because when I think about trauma, I just think about any event that we don't process properly. Any event. That is whether it's your mom, if your mother embarrassed you in front of everyone and scolded you in front of everyone or talked to you a certain kind of way. It can be with a sibling, okay, who everyone got a gift at the Christmas party, but you were the person who was overlooked. Or even, the spouses can unintentionally traumatize one another with their actions or lack thereof. So, trauma really, if we were to be real honest about trauma, there is no, in my opinion, there is no clear-cut definition. I believe that it is in the eyes and in the hearts of the beholder.
For sure. And everybody handles it differently.
Okay, let's talk about that part, because some of the things, I had an image that sometimes in our communities, we've seen people, and we've just said we see people walking, and unfortunately we see a lot of it here on the south side of Birmingham, and really it's going to be any major city. People who are don't have a place to live. They're walking on the street. They're talking to themselves. And the thing that I have much more of a compassionate heart toward it now, because I think to myself, at some point that individual has probably sustained some sort of trauma and they did not respond correctly.
I think in the beginning, do we really know what triggers us, and do we know we have the trauma? I think that's one of the things that, what is trauma to you? Because men and women, of course, we're going to handle it differently.
Sure.
But as a man, I don't look at trauma as being a bad thing. For me, when I deal with trauma, thank you. Thank you.
Of course, the video is yeah.
All right, thank you so much.
And say that again. You were talking about men.
So, as a man, I look at it just a period that I'm going through, right? So it just depends on how a bad situation affect me. That am I traumatized by it? Because in the military, it was PTSD. At home,
you dealt with trauma all day in the military.
Yeah, I guess you could have, but we look at it as men. We don't really look at it as trauma. That's just the way life is. So defining trauma and then understanding as a man, what do you need to talk about and don't need to talk about? That's difficult for any man going through life, because we are taught to deal with tough things. Yeah. Period. Right.
Yeah.
So I think for me growing up, and I can only speak for me, y'all. And again, y'all got the digital airways of the Keisa and Joe Show on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Thank you guys so much for locking in with us. We appreciate you. For me, trauma, I probably was more traumatized, I would say, as a kid, more so than I am as an adult. Yes. Because I can look at that car there. I've never seen one of those.
That is like the new Tesla. That's the new Tesla SUV that looks like a spaceship.
Car.
Look at that. Have you all seen that new car? The new Tesla that looks like an SUV.
It looks like a spaceship. I've never seen it here in Birmingham. I've seen it on anyway.
Yeah.
Okay,
right.
But I think as a kid, when you're traumatized, you don't know it and it affects you. I think when an adult is traumatized, it takes a really dramatic situation for a man. For me. Okay. I'm gonna speak for me.
Yeah.
For me to feel like I'm traumatized or I can't handle it, because as a grown man, I know how to compartmentalize things where it doesn't bother me.
So let's talk about that part right there. Let's talk about two things you mentioned. Y'all, what are your thoughts about trauma and dealing with trauma? Let's talk about. Let's see. Miss Tammy says. She says it can be some form of treatment from someone you care about. Yes, ma'am. Trauma and triggers. We don't have enough time to talk about it. Absolutely right, Miss Tammy. Trauma and triggers. So I think as men, sometimes I believe that men say that doesn't bother me, or I can compartmentalize it.
Right.
But my question is that really the case? Because I believe that a number of women believe that mistreatment, what do you call it? Slighting them, ignoring them, the cheating, not being able to commit to one woman, and for whatever reason I keep hitting this microphone, Jesus, not being able to commit to one woman, not being stable in relationships. I think a lot of women believe that is trauma that has not been addressed. Okay, help us out.
And the reason why I'm gonna say that, I'm not gonna say this for every man, because I can't speak for every man across the globe on the digital network. I can't speak for them.
Okay.
But let's not make excuses for guys. Okay. About why he's doing certain things.
Okay.
At the end of the day.
Okay.
Is that some part of the reason? Maybe.
Okay.
But as a grown man, I make my own decisions.
Sure.
And like I said, this is what I said, compartmentalize.
Sure.
If I can compartmentalize it when I'm at work,
Mhm.
when I can compartmentalize when I'm out doing things with my friends, I can compartmentalize when I'm with you. I choose not to do it when I'm with you. See, a man knows how to use certain things and say certain things to get you triggered,
Mhm.
to get you to feel sorry for me, or you feel sorry for me because you think that's what's happened. But if I'm only doing it with you,
Mhm.
it's not affecting me for real.
So that's good. So let me tell you what I think, because and this is just my opinion,
Mhm.
because I think so many of us are dealing with trauma. I think that we hold on a second. I'm trying to see how to get this thing off here, y'all. You know, what's the word for me? Sometimes I get a little distracted.
You're very distracted.
I know, and it's kind of fun, and then sometimes it's actually annoying. But so that's why I'm looking here. I've got Instagram here and my computer's here. But I believe that not only are men victims of trauma, I believe that women are as well.
Mhm.
Because my thing is, you went back to childhood. If you're never healed from that lack of acceptance by your parent, if you're
Mhm.
never healed from the anger that you had to sustain as a result of your parents, or the being the scapegoat child, you took every hit, every whatever for
Right.
your brother or sister. How can we become rational? How can we become successful? How can we become loving adults if we've got this thing in our heart, this gaping hole? And I'm gonna push back on you a little bit. Now, I hear what you're saying for Joe, but as part of my studies, I was reading up on this. Part of the issue of a son who has and people kind of felt some kind of way, Joe, on my page when I wrote about, and y'all, I want to hear from you all, which this is no fun, if we're just talking. What traumas have you sustained? What do you think about trauma? How do how do you think it shows up? But one of the things that, and people got real bothered about me posting about narcissistic behavior, because I think it's more popular than what people want to admit. But part of my studies is I'm a coach. So I coach people through situations like this, through relational drama. And one of the things that a man, he self-soothes because he's been mistreated by a narcissistic mother. So one of the ways that he
Thank
self-soothes
you, Jeremy.
is, thank you, Jeremy.
Pardon me, guys.
No
So,
pardon.
drop that
This
right
is
there.
the owner
Good morning.
of Filter Coffee Parlor
Guys.
right here. This is Jeremy. Y'all got to come check it out.
Please
Like,
do.
And what kind of
This
coffee
is-
did you fix this morning?
Oh, that is our salted butterscotch, our #1 seller. Everyone loves it. It's nice, rich, creamy. Can't beat it. Blends well with espresso. So,
It does.
yes, sir.
and Joe does the regular milk, and I do the macadamia nut milk
Yes.
or oat milk. One of the two. I normally go plant based. You got to come check him out. Okay, got to come check him out
Thanks,
down
Jeremy.
here.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
Sorry.
you. So one of the ways that a guy self-soothes is that he avoids time with his significant other. He does not, he makes sure that he does not meet her needs. And there's some other behaviors, but basically what he does is he takes out his anger on that person that he's in a relationship with, or the person that he's married to. I'm not saying that's everyone, but I'm just saying studies have shown that a man is self-soothing and he's inflicting harm upon that person he's in a relationship with, because he could not do it with his mother, who was his authority figure. So I think what I would love to hear from you is, if a man is not healed or sustained trauma or abuse or all the ugly things that we see in the family and we try to sweep up under the rug, how in the world can he really be a functioning, whole male, ready for a mature relationship and ready to give all of his love to a woman?
It's a lot to unpack right there.
Okay.
A whole lot.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
So, as a man, and I'm speaking just in general, but I'm speaking from my POV, my point of view. At some point, a man has to take responsibility for his life.
Yes.
Okay? At some point.
Okay.
I can blame mom and dad all day for my trauma, for not loving me, for not doing whatever, right?
Yeah.
Now, I want to be careful when I say this to everybody. If you wasn't sexually abused or physically abused, right? Because those things can traumatize you to a point where maybe it's no point of return.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you weren't shown certain things or you didn't get certain things, as a man, I'm sorry, it's just the way I feel. I can be wrong, ladies and gentlemen, but I feel you just got to get over it. You
How
have
do
to.
you get over it?
you have to find a way to get over it, right? I'm speaking from where my mom was told not to hug me, right? And so I didn't get I love you from my mom and dad all the time, right? I don't even know if they really said it, but back then they showed you through. You got clothes on your back, food. You ever seen you move the fences?
Yeah.
You got clothes on your back, food on the table. I don't have to tell you I love you. So some people say that's a form of trauma.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know how to love when I left home.
You did?
I didn't know how to love a woman. I had no clue what that looked like. Right? Because I didn't see it from my mom and dad or from what they did. Dad had put food on the table, roof on, roof over your head and food on the table, and clothes on the back.
That was love, period.
That was love. But when you got around a woman, she wants to hear it. Well, if my daddy was saying it to my mom, I'm not saying look at I done under private business, but
you didn't
I
hear
didn't
that.
hear it, and I didn't see it. I didn't see
Yeah.
my dad slapping my mom on the butt and giving a hug in front of me. Never.
Yeah. Wow.
Not one time.
Wow.
So when I got out in when I became a teenager, I'm just trying to get some, right? But I don't know how to. I mean, I'm just keeping it real.
That's right.
But I don't know how to be sweet to you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I was told to open up a door, you know what I'm saying, and do the normal things of man, but that love emotional. My first wife, and people who watch my shows have heard me say this, she taught me how to love. Like, give me your hand. When my first wife actually touched my hand and tried to do this to me, I would do this.
Whoa.
Right? Because it felt strange to me.
That felt strange. Somebody touching you.
No, so when you like, let's say for here, right, and grab my hand, and then try to rub my hand.
Oh, okay.
No, I would do this.
Wow.
Like, what are you doing?
Wow. Because you didn't have time to
If it
process
wasn't
any emotions.
if it wasn't of a sexual nature,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What what the hell are you doing?
What are you doing?
So I would do this right here, like, and then she would try. If a woman try to come nuzzle up, cuddle up to me.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? I would stop.
Whoa.
Stop. Right?
That was wrong.
but again,
yeah,
not knowing what that was all about, because young men are taught to be strong.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Protective.
Absolutely.
We're not. Unfortunately, when I grew up, it may have changed now in America, but when I grew up, I was taught to protect. I wasn't taught to love with emotion.
Wow.
I was taught to love through protection by leading. No one taught me to love, you know what I'm saying, by emotion.
Yeah.
I was never taught that.
Yeah. So, I think that's good for you saying that. And so, I'm not going to sit here and just get on you, because the danger of it is that in relationships, men, and when that's not modeled, the daughters unknowingly sort of get their cues as well. Because my dad, military, okay, he didn't have anybody hugging him and telling him that they loved him. So guess what? As a parent, there was never any of that. It was just like, I'm gonna pick you up, I'm gonna hang out with you, I'm gonna buy you some clothes, I'm gonna feed you, and then after you do that, you need to go wash dishes, and then you need to go to bed. Maybe watch TV. But back then, we really didn't watch television.
Right.
We were told to go outside and play.
Because it was one TV.
Because it was one TV and it was in their bedroom. So you didn't watch TV. You went outside and you just played. So it affected daughters too. Yeah. So in the sense that some women were able to successfully overcome it, but in other instances, women aren't. So women go trying to, and I think for a part of my life, I went trying to look at things and look at guys and trying to be the person who always was the fixer in the relationship. And I don't know if y'all know anything about guys. They don't want you trying to fix nothing. They don't want you trying to come and mother them. They don't want any of that. So I'm doing it, but I'm acting out a program. You understand? Because I'm trying to close the gap and close that lack that I had, or the lack that was there from not having a good relationship with my dad. I couldn't go and talk to him and say, Dad, tell me how should I do this if a guy approaches me or what? I just didn't have that. But let me ask you all, hey Omar, good morning. Am I alone? Let me ask you that. Am I alone? Have you all dealt with, we're still waving and speaking to, we see a little graduate here. Yeah. Oh, how cute. So congratulations to all of our graduates out there too. Am I alone, ladies, out here? I know that you're watching. Would love for you to give us some feedback out here. What are some of the things that you have dealt with in terms of overcoming your trauma and experiencing that? But does that make sense? And
sure.
Let me ask you this. Do guys know when a woman is traumatized? They don't. They don't.
Y'all don't know when we're traumatized.
I beg to differ.
I'm not even trying to ask.
No,
that's what I'm saying.
come
Yeah,
on.
we're not.
Oh, what? Say that again, nephew.
I'm probably not even trying to ask her if she's traumatized.
So guys don't even want to know if a woman is traumatized or not.
We don't. That's not one of our key things to look for.
Okay.
You know what I
Okay.
mean? We may
Okay.
say, I get okay. Let me say this, and be fair. Don't take this the wrong way, but we're just talking. If you
We're
was
just
in the
talking.
man's corner, we would say, your trauma may look just you crazy.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
She crazy. Right?
Exactly.
But we don't sit there and try to scientifically say, okay, why is she crazy?
She's dealing with trauma
Right.
and all that. No,
Right.
she just crazy, dog.
Right. She got a lot going on. Yeah, she on one. She be on one.
So I think the same thing happens with us. I don't think we try to diagnose it and say he's dealing with trauma. I think we just say, girl, he a dog, or girl, he don't have a clue.
Someone said something on Instagram. What did they say?
Marvin, I can say that even as a kid, because of my sickly condition and the speech impediment, I wasn't able to do other things. Hey, y'all, I'm over here on Instagram, so bear with me. I wasn't able to do other things other kids could do or my siblings could. But when my daughter wanted to play sports, and he stopped right there, he said, but Marvin said it was through he had a speech impediment. I did not know that, Marvin. He communicates so well now. So I love people who overcome. Thank you for sharing that, Marvin. Goodness gracious.
And I truly believe, like I said, at some point, just me being a man, like I said, I'm old school. You got to stop blaming parents for what your life did not turn out to be.
Totally agree.
You know what I mean?
Totally agree.
You have free will to now change that. Yeah, mom and dad may have screwed up, but you made a very valid point that they only gave you what they were giving to themselves, and they couldn't better themselves, or they didn't better themselves during their lifespan. Don't let that be you.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying?
That's right.
You have time to go seek help, right? If you understand the word mental illness, if you understand trauma, you can go fix it, or you can go through your life blaming mom and daddy for all your problems. And as a man, I don't think that's what we do. Women, I can't speak for y'all.
Yeah.
But as a man, bro, get off your ass and handle your business. You see what I'm saying? If you messed up,
what does that look like? Handling your business. I think that's good, and I'll tell you how women handle it too.
Sure. For me, it looks like taking control of your own life, right? Mm-hmm. So whatever happens now is my responsibility. Mm-hmm. So if I messed up, I got to take full blame and accountability for what is happening today.
I like that.
Today, I would say, okay, mom and daddy, you got me here, but now I know that this has affected me, but now I'm not going to let it affect me to the point where I'm going to blame you for it.
Yeah.
How do I fix it?
Yeah, I like that.
You know what I'm saying? I have to fix what I did not know. It took me a minute to understand I did know it.
Okay.
Because nobody was there to talk to me about it.
Mm-hmm.
But then I started to understand, and then as a man, you start to see that the things that are happening to your life, the same thing continues to happen with different people or in different situations, and you're the main character.
Then you're the issue.
Then I started looking at, okay, everybody can't be bad. It has to be something going on with me.
I like that.
And until you start to take accountability for your actions, if you're always complaining anywhere you go, anybody you with, or any job you're on, if you're always complaining, it ain't the outside situation, it's your ass.
Yes.
You are the problem.
Yes.
Whoever you are, and I'm telling you, if you go to everywhere you go, there is a problem. People picking on you, or God, you black, you white, you woman, whatever, right? If you always got a problem any place in your life, on the phone or whatever, you are the problem. And you have to figure out if you want to fix that, or you will continue your playing because it sounds good and you get empathy and sympathy.
You're blessing me because I also think that what you're giving is just a key for men and women. Listen, at no point are we trying to be unsympathetic, callous about what happened to you. But what he just talked about with men and understanding, look, I've had 5 marriages. I'm the main character in all the marriages, okay? So as a result, either I'm going to make a decision to see what's wrong with me and stop blaming mama, the cat, the dog, the employer, the first wife, the second wife. Stop blaming. Okay, what about me is making these choices, or what about me is leading to all of this failure? And that's a tough thing for some people to do.
Okay,
That part, I think that's where your soldier nephew is tuning. Either he's looking that way or he's tuning into what I'm saying. He was just looking intently.
Right.
But accepting responsibility, I think that's so good, and I think that's the key for men and women. So I'm saying that to say we're not trying to be insensitive, okay? But accepting responsibility, that's key, man or woman. We can't change our past, y'all. But what we can do is we can make changes moving forward.
I think, sometimes you have to come up and sensitive though, because if you're ever going to fix a problem, fixing a problem is not easy.
No.
Let me say this again: fixing a problem ain't for you. It ain't for y'all. Fixing the problem, I have to fix it. And guess what? This is what pisses me off with everybody. I have to fix the problem my way.
Yes.
Let me say this again. When
Yes.
you got to fix a problem, you got to
Yes.
fix a problem your way.
Yes.
Whatever that looks like,
Yes.
however messed up it is,
Yes. I'm
that's
with you.
how you have to fix your problem. So many people tend to drag you and everybody else along in their problem and their drama and their sorrow, right? By calling you or texting you
Yes.
or getting into relationships you know that that's not going to work, but
Yes.
it's comforting you to keep you from taking accountability to what you're doing.
Yes.
I tell, for me, like I said, when I want to fix something, I have to go in the cocoon.
Yeah.
I have to be by myself, and I have to come out and saying that I'm going to do this. When I say I want to lift weights, I want to get the show up going. I want to go speak Spanish. I want to speak Japanese. I can't wait for y'all to come tell me every single day. Did you study? Did you do this? Did you go down in the dungeon today? Right? Did you do that flyer? No. I understand that I got to go do this or it don't get done.
That's right. I love it.
That ain't mom or daddy's fault.
I love it.
When I wake up in the morning, mom and dad is not breathing air into me. The God is giving me every single day that each and everybody in this way looking at us, Keisa. God gives everybody a chance every day. You can
breathe that breath.
He breathes that breath. When you wake up in the morning, God has breathed breath into you. Right?
So good.
And when you wake up, you can choose to blame somebody, or you can choose to take accountability because your mom and daddy didn't breathe breath into you.
Yes.
God did. And God gave you another chance today to change.
That's good.
Your past.
That's good.
Your future. I had to say to myself, right, that what I'm doing now has nothing to do with anything from yesterday.
Yeah.
My legacy is not built on what they did. That legacy right now, the legacy that was built, I already took all of that. I've drained that bank account. The legacy going forward now is what I'm going to leave. So is it going to be good or bad, rich or poor? The legacy that you leave today is not your mama and dad, your cousin, uncle's fault. The legacy you leave today for yourself is your legacy.
This is
so
good.
If it's trauma,
this is good.
If it's mental illness, and you know you need to get help, you can't wait for Joe Lockett or Keisa to get on the show and tell you need to go get help.
You have to do that.
You got to go do that, man.
Yeah.
You got to fix yourself.
Yeah.
Yes, trauma is something that we need to talk about. Mental illness is something we need to talk about. But doggone it, we can't fix you because I don't know you got it. You got to want to fix yourself, and you want to be better for your kids. You got to want to be better for your family. You want to need to be better for yourself if you want that.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't want that, we can talk about this all day and give out phone numbers and give out websites and stuff like that. But if you're not taking accountability for your own life, what good are we doing?
Do you hear the soldier coming out? And let me be practical. And Tammy says we don't tell our traumas unless we trust the person that we're with. Well, Tammy, I do think that that's wise to not share unless you trust the person that you're with. Michelle says until the age of 18, I thought men did not have any true and genuine and romantic feelings, and probably because they're coming into their own as well too. You know, when they're younger or whatever. So it's probably just individual as far as men. But I'm going to bring home what you just said as far as where I am right now. I had to make a decision that I was not at my best physically. And I would say over the past 6 weeks, past month and a half, it's probably been one of the toughest time frames for me because I've had to go back and I've had to go into myself and I've had to ask myself some questions. I had to deny some things that I like. I not eating what I want to eat, not doing what I want to do, getting up, having to make smoothies, having to cook, having to exercise. I walk my dog every day, but having to go back and do more exercise to ramp up what I'm doing, incorporating some things that I don't like, but I know it's going to yield some benefits later on. And again, and let me just go ahead and warn you, as you do this, as you make the decision to be personally accountable, there will be some pain there. I wish I could tell you that I felt good about how I'm because I can see some results now. I'm finally getting into I feel better about it. But you wouldn't have known. I don't think I shared with you really what I was doing, maybe just a little bit, but you didn't know that process. You don't know what happened behind the scenes.
What I will say is, and I think I can say this and safe to say in front of everybody. I saw the pullback.
Yep.
Right? Because we used to talk often.
Yeah.
Right? But I respected the pullback.
Yeah.
I didn't say nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We used to talk, we used to talk quite often, right?
Right.
But
right.
I understood something was going on. And
Yeah.
what do you see? Truthfully, right now, what do? I text you every once in a while.
Yep.
Say you good?
Yep.
Keep working at it. Whatever's going on, I'm here for you.
Yep.
Never said anything. Never said ask you any questions.
Yep.
So whatever you was going through,
Yep.
I knew you was doing something.
Oh yeah.
But I always saw you on social media doing what you had to go do. When I talked, we would have a conversation, but it wouldn't be as long. It wouldn't be as in depth. So I understood, like, okay, whatever she's doing, this is her way of doing it.
Yeah.
If you needed me,
I knew you were there.
you were there.
Yeah.
But this is what I think a lot of people don't get, right?
Yeah.
When you decide to do that, you didn't run it by me.
Right.
It's your life, right?
Mhm.
What is my job as your friend?
To support me if you know it's going to be something to benefit me.
Right. And
to be there.
But how do you support a friend when they go into something and they didn't tell you about it?
Be there, but don't pester them or follow their lead. Be there and know, okay, I'm here if you need me. You good? But don't necessarily keep prying or going into excess. Just be like, okay, I know something's going on, but let me just kind of whatever. And y'all, this ain't deep and difficult and heavy.
No.
What I'm saying to you is I have had, and I was so resonating with what you were saying, because as I've had to make these decisions, as I've had to change how I eat, I'm cut back on the meat. There's some days, you want to know what my breakfast was this morning? I would love for my breakfast to have been some bacon and some eggs. No, my breakfast this morning was, I get up and I drink 32 ounces of water. Most times it's going to be lemon and salt because I need the electrolytes in there. I have a smoothie that I made. I made a batch of it, which included red bell pepper, strawberries, blueberries, banana, beet greens, and also spinach. Yum. But if Keisa wants to, yum. But if Keisa wants to, did you detect the sarcasm there and the anger there?
Well, man.
But if I know, and you know what? Before I came here, I'm here in with all of these wonderful, delicious desserts in the background.
Mhm.
But if Keisa wants to look and Keisa wants to move, because y'all don't get it twisted. You're going into another dispensation of time. Your body, now this is my thought process.
Mhm.
God will give us grace up until that about 45-ish time frame, 45, 46, 47. The body is incredibly resilient. But I think what the Lord says, now listen, for the first half of your life, I'm gonna give you grace, okay, till you figure it out. But on this latter half, you should know what to do. You should understand what works. You should understand what you can do. Joe can eat the most delectable. And did you also notice we go out and have lunch and all that kind of stuff? Well, I got a report from the doctor that said cholesterol was elevated. I could have cussed. I'm like, cholesterol? What is cholesterol? Then I thought about it. You're eating all these rich sauces. You like chips every now and then. So guess what? I had to scale back and say, no, I can't do that. I gotta go home and I have to fix the avocado and spinach and strawberry and blueberry salad with a dressing that I make with the oil and vinegar. What am I saying? I'm saying I have had to make some hard choices. And as you deal with trauma and as you deal with some other things, you got to make some hard choices. And nobody can tell me how to do that. Joe can't say, you can't say, well, Keisa, you can eat a little piece of meat. Girl, come on now. You can have you a burger every now and then. No, I can't have a burger every now and then and do what Keisa needs to do. I actually want to set a framework for the best part of my life to be the latter part of my life. Okay. So I can't
and you got to figure that out.
Listen, Miss J said, I felt the same way. Keisha, wait till you hit the sexy 60s. I'm trying to set up something right now. Do you know doctors say between 50 and 55, that's the window that sets up how you're going to live your latter life. So if I'm out here wilding out, not exercising and thinking I can eat everything I want to do and all that kind of stuff. Because my biggest challenge has been sweets. Another thing that you're seeing with me cutting back on, two things: meat. I trend strongly toward a vegan and vegetarian lifestyle. Okay, I don't have to have meat. I can eat it every now and then. I don't have to have it. But also secondarily cutting out meat. Breads, and thirdly, sweets. Those are the three things. And fourthly, being boss when it comes to water. I have a guy that I follow by the name of Dr. Mark Hyman, and he is a longevity expert. You should really follow him, Dr. Mark Hyman. And one of the things that he talks about, he gets up and he has protein in the morning. He had some form of protein in his smoothies. And secondly, he's going to hit the floor, and he said he's doing 32 ounces of electrolyte water. Well, if you don't want to go and buy all of the smart waters and all of that, you can do your research on it, but you can add electrolytes in your water with a tad of a squeeze of lemon juice and just a sprinkle of some sea salt. Okay, or pink Himalayan salt. So that's just a tip for some of you all. If you just and listen, if you can take it and throw it out the window. This is what Keisa's having to do because I want a better quality of life and I want to feel better.
You know, you do a whole lot way more than I do.
What do you mean?
I don't do none of that.
But okay, great point. Did you hear what he just said? He said, I don't do none of that. But guess what?
That's what works for you though.
Yes. But let me show you the difference though. Okay. Talking about I gotta understand what's going on with me. Joe has handled his business. Joe, I looked at a picture from 20, 30 years ago when you were in the military. Joe had guns like this. Joe still doesn't have any sort of stomach or waist. He's over it. Joe is older than me.
Let them know how old he is again. I like
Joe is older than me. Joe is older than me. But see, what I'm saying is the man doesn't have an ounce of fat on his body. So, I mean, somebody, can you help me understand? He's like, oh, I don't do any of that. No, you don't have to. He has no fat on his body, none. And he works out every day. So no, he doesn't have to do it because you know why? Because Joe has been disciplined all his life. Miss Keisa has not been disciplined. So Keisa's been wilding out on some things. Keisa gained weight. Keisa did some things she didn't have any business doing. So no, he doesn't have to do it because he has exercised discipline consistently. But listen, no condemnation. We just get it back. And I hope and pray that I'm saying something to encourage you all today. Talking about trauma, life is all about hard choices. We may not always like them, but sometimes they are necessary. My sister Tammy, absolutely. And I know we kind of talked about, and I don't know where he went. So we were talking about trauma. The nephew, he just left us.
No, you good. I got you straight.
You sure? So here he comes back. He's back. So like I was saying before he left, see, he's been handling his, look at him. Look, no. Stand right there for the camera. Let the lady see. Turn to the side, model to the side. Where is the fat? And like I said, y'all, he is older than me. But he has the body of a 20-year-old, 25-year-old? He could put some 25-year-olds to shame. Miss Keisa, I'm working on that. How about that? We're going back to the early 20s, okay? Well, no, we're not, but we're gonna lose some weight. How about that? We're losing some weight. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're gonna do that. So I was actually giving you a compliment, and you just stormed off stage left. To the left.
He ain't dealt with his trauma.
That's right. I have trauma. Hey, this is off camera, sir. This is off camera, sir.
Speaking of trauma, did you see that trauma response? He just left, and I was really trying to give him. I was really trying to give him a compliment. Yes, I'm listening. Go ahead.
It sounded like an underhanded slap.
No, I was really complimenting you on how well you've kept yourself up. That was a true compliment.
But thank you.
You're welcome.
I think first the thing for me is what. When I was in the military and I saw older gentlemen that was taking care of themselves, I had an image of what I wanted to look like when I got this age.
Yeah.
So that was my lifetime of saying that when I get this age, I want to look like this. So I was doing, not always on track, but I kept myself within range.
Yeah.
So when I got this age, right, I was able to stay within the range. And still, I work at it. Like all the stuff you did this morning.
Yeah.
This is my breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had anything.
You haven't had anything, yeah.
My first meal will probably be, like right after here. I don't eat breakfast, right?
Yeah.
I eat maybe twice a day. And he see me, I eat cheese and tomatoes, right? A salad. I don't eat a lot. Now, there are days you may see me eat, a 10-piece, or I can't eat a 10-piece, but an 8-piece or a 6-piece lemon pepper combo. Yeah. That's my cheat day.
Yeah.
But I can afford to cheat because I know that if I go 3 or 4 days with the bloatedness that those meals will give me, in 2 days, I can get back to where I was because all I need to do is just eat salads.
Yeah.
What it sounds more like
Mhm.
is he hasn't established
Mm-hmm.
and you're reestablished.
Right.
So yours will be different
Mhm.
for the beginning, but after you get into a certain rhythm, I'm sure you'll have your established days too, where you can afford a cheat day a little bit different than how somebody who just started.
That's
Yes.
good.
On a cheat
Very
day.
true.
I don't. Are they able to hear you?
Probably not.
He was
Probably.
nephew was basically saying I'm
Paraphrasing.
paraphrasing it here. He was basically saying that the difference is that Joe is already established, so he doesn't have to do what I'm doing. Is going to look different from what Joe does because Joe is already established. But me, I'm reestablishing. He said, use the word reestablishing, which I thought was so good and is so true. I am reestablishing some routines, reestablishing some disciplines, and just trying to get this thing back in order, y'all. You know, I know it's a little bit of a different show. I'm listening to you. You got something else?
In a way, you can kind of relate that back to trauma.
Come on, help us out. He said we can relate this to trauma. Help us out, nephew.
How would you deal with somebody that has trauma that you haven't found out yet? I know that was like one of the questions earlier in the show.
Yeah.
Like for men, do
Oh,
they
yeah.
know or do they see a woman if she's dealing with trauma?
Yeah.
Well, maybe y'all are dealing with two different phases in y'all trauma.
Interesting.
Like if we can use both of y'all,
Okay.
Joe would be in the latter half dealing with his trauma, where he's a lot more used to it, and he had already processed the big parts in it.
Yeah.
And then now he's dealing with his mate, you,
Yeah.
and you're in the middle or the beginning stages.
Yeah.
So whatever he's seeing with you now, it might either re-trigger him or set him off. So now he doesn't want to address whatever it is because it may or may not feel like you're going backwards.
Wow.
Dealing with you or handling what you have to do at your stage.
Wow.
And that's very true. I'm going to piggyback on what he said. If you guys couldn't hear him, basically he's saying that at the end of the day, that if you're around somebody and you're going through your own situation, which you can call it trauma, that depending on who you're around, right, may either set you back or re-trigger what you're doing.
Yeah.
Very good point. Because whatever you're going through, you cannot be around somebody of the opposite, right, of what you're trying to achieve.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Because some people think that, that they got the best interest in the heart for you, but that's their best interest for you. And I truly believe what people need to understand watching the Digital Airways today is this. What you think is best for me, or what you may think was best for your family or situation, is not best for me.
Yes. Yes.
I can only choose, you can only choose what's best for you.
Absolutely.
Whether you're married,
Yes.
whether you're son or daughter,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying? You can only choose what's best for you, especially when you're grown as hell.
Yes.
Now, the other question I need to ask you, because I know we probably been short on time here,
Sure.
I want to talk about the woman part, because we talked a lot about the man part.
We did.
Okay.
Come on, let's get
From the
it.
woman's side, can you break it down to us what that looks like? And as a man, how do I recognize it, or is there something recognizable? Do women get into relationships and depend on me to fix your trauma? Do you bring your trauma to us? And what do you expect from us when women are going through a traumatic situation? A lot to unpack there.
So that's a lot to unpack, but that's really, really good. So all my ladies, I want you to help me with it. I want you to respond to what he said today about that. So speaking of a woman with trauma, let me just tell you this. I think in my 20s, 30s, and 40s, I would have seen this so differently, in the sense that, sometimes we think we got to go sit down somewhere and we need to go and heal and we need to go heal and just go sit in a corner and not deal with anybody else. I think that life is teaching me now that we're all, and nephew pointed this out, we're all at some particular level on that scope of trauma. And when I say and trauma, I don't mean as if we're just walking around bleeding on everybody emotionally or whatever, but it's in how we process the unexpected, how we process that which we don't like, how we process challenges. Listen, trauma can be a health diagnosis. Trauma can be your child out on drugs. Trauma can be you having an accident that's got you nervous about even driving. Trauma happens to all of us. So I don't want you all to hear and get, oh God, I don't want anybody to know I have trauma. We all deal with trauma. The issue is how we process it. What is up with this microphone? I keep wanting to do this with the microphone. So with a woman, so when I was in my 20s, 30s, and 40s, I would have said, if you see someone who's dealing with trauma, if she acting crazy, she fussy and run. The 50-year-old in me, the 51, I'll be 52 tomorrow. We're not going to talk about that. My birthday is tomorrow.
Really?
Seriously.
So you're giving a hint that I better be doing something. See, I'm trauma. See, trauma. I feel trauma.
Get over that trauma real quick. Just do what you need to do. See, that's the 50-year-old talking. Oh, we ain't gonna win. No. You ain't got no trauma. Just do
I
what
just
you
gave
need.
you your present by advertising your business.
You did. No, you gave me your present just by being who you are.
No,
Boom.
but we gotta do something for Susan.
Okay. Yeah, yes, we
gotta
do.
something. Yeah.
Actually.
I can't do it today, but we gotta do something.
Okay, cool beans. So at 51, soon to be 52, I would say in terms of processing your trauma, if you are dealing with a woman, and there are two decisions on it, you'll notice it because trauma causes fracture. Unresolved trauma causes a fracture. Everybody has trauma, but the person who will not deal with their trauma, they cause a fracture. They're going to cause tension. They're going to cause angst with you. They're going to cause trouble for you. Meaning, if you notice something, for instance, again, we all deal with trauma, but if I can't sit down and have a conversation with you about your trauma, that's a big one for me. We all got stuff that we say wrong. We all have stuff that we do wrong. Hey, I flew off the deep end about that. I'm sorry about that. I was having a bad day. Maybe in the future, this may be better instead of coming to get me at the end of the day. That's a big one for me. My mind is always processing. So if you're coming to me trying to do heavy discussions at 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, forget it. But you get me at 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, we're good. So again, all of us have trauma. And then, and say you go and approach, let me just walk this example out. You approach someone, you approach a young lady and you talk to her 8 o'clock at night. Hey babe, I had this idea. I wanted to share this with you. You're talking and she's like, I don't have time for that. Can't you see I'm doing so-and-so? So as a person, are you going to say, well, damn, I didn't, just cussed. I don't want to do
Doesn't even sound right coming out of your mouth.
I know, right? Look, it threw me off, nephew. But are you going to say, man, I don't want to deal with her anymore because she's whatever. No, what you want is a person who's emotionally intelligent. That's a word we hadn't talked about enough to say, hey, I did that wrong. Can we, let's talk about how we can avoid this from happening in the future. That's what you want. You want a person who is not, because you're not going to get perfect, Joe. I'm not going to get perfect. You're not going to get perfect, nephew. What you want is somebody who, through all of the ish that they deal with, they're going to be able to come to you and work with you moving forward. Listen, we all know as men, we all know as women, watch me, ladies, I might need you to back me up on this. We all know y'all get a little special sometimes. We all know that y'all may not always make the best decisions.
True.
As a woman, is it my job to say when you do something I don't agree with, that was so GD dumb, blah, 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 you so blah. Do you do all that? No. We sit down and we say, honey, let's talk about that. I have a thought process. Let's talk about it. Okay, I really didn't agree with it, but I was trying to trust you. But listen, how do we move forward from it? Do you see what I'm saying? I may still be angry with you about it. I may still be bothered by it. But an evolved woman, a person who is working through her trauma or who's working to overcome and be healed, will extend an olive branch to you as a man and say, let's work through it. How can we prevent this from happening in the future? I may not have it right now. I remember I would say, in my marriage, I would say, I don't have this together right now. You may need to work with me for a little bit. I know this bothers you, but give me a little bit of grace because I'm working on that. If I'm triggered by this, give me a little bit of grace. So does that make sense?
It does.
You're about to say something.
No, and the reason why I'm saying is because I love what you're saying. What I think a lot of times with people watching on the digital airways here or don't understand is that we don't practice it.
We don't, Joe.
You know what I mean?
We don't.
It sounds good when we're in therapy.
It sounds good, but we don't. But the reason that I say it and the reason I hold out for hope, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're fine.
The reason I hold out for hope is because I see the examples of people who do it and they make it work. And so I don't care if experientially up to this point, if I have not experienced something, if I can look at a couple, they've been married for 20 years and they're best friends.
Mhm.
I hadn't really experienced that time. We need to probably wrap it up pretty soon. I haven't experienced that, but I don't give up hope because I understand that it can be done.
I believe it can be done, but the person that's going to love is going to love you.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
through it all.
Through it all.
Through it all, right? And it's not going to be a problem for them. See, that's what people. If I'm with you and you become a problem to me, or if I'm talking to you, a problem for me, you're a problem for me. Whether you want to see it that way or not.
Absolutely.
And that's why you have heard me repeatedly say, I am a problem for anybody at this point because I'm not happy, meaning I'm not content. I'm very happy in my life.
Yeah.
But I'm not content
Yeah.
for where I am.
Yeah.
And until I get that, I will be a nuisance
Yeah.
to a relationship.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to focus on you.
Yeah.
And you have people say, well, I can be this and I can be that.
Mhm.
For me, I don't care
Mm-hmm.
how long you wait. Because here's the thing for me, and this sounds horrible. If you wait for me, I may not want you at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Because I was not focused on you doing the journey.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't understand that part of
Absolutely.
a man. I don't know if I'm screwed up, let me say that word, in that manner, but sometimes people take you on a journey with them, and I've seen people do this. You get to have you ever been with a woman, been with a man, and as soon as he get to where he's going, right, he drops her,
Absolutely.
right, because he was never into her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I understand now that from my situation, because I hate calling this trauma, that I would never be put in a situation or find myself in a situation where I was before. And so am I being very stubborn and very selective in my life?
Yeah.
About what I do and what I don't do?
Yeah.
I had to say when we started this show, I completely changed my personal life and everything. Because I said, if I'm going to focus on this, I can't have a personal life. I told you that.
Yeah.
Me and you talked. I said, if me and you going to do this, we're going to be out and about. I cannot be in a relationship and dealing with questions.
Yeah.
You calling me,
Yeah.
you know, when we talk, or we talk early in the morning. That is going to be a problem for me. So I knew when we started this show and we started doing it, and we kind of like laid out the lay of land for the next 2 or 3 years. I said, you know something? I said, when we do this, I said, I'm not in a relationship right now, and I'm finna go ahead and make it concrete for myself. I'm not going to do this, right? And I think at the end of the day, people have to understand when you're going through something, what does it take? Listen to me, y'all. What does it take for you to get through your problems, mental illness, or your trauma? It is not for somebody else to tell you how you should do it. The mom and daddy can't tell you how to get through what you need to get through. You got to figure that out.
Yeah.
You have to understand yourself, what it feels like, what it's morning, noon, and night, when your energy levels are. Because yours can change.
Mine have?
No, because you remember there were times we could talk at night.
Oh, yeah.
But now when I talk to you, it's like I talk to you in the morning.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So we'll talk at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
Before, you know what I'm saying? So you have to go with the ups and downs of that person.
That's right.
But the only reason why we go through the ups and downs because we're not in a relationship.
That's right.
If I was in a relationship with you,
It'd be tougher.
It would be very tough.
But that's the issue, though. It shouldn't be tough. I think that's the problem. We're not willing to go through the ups and downs when it's a part. Like I want to see that point where two people are committed to go through the ups and downs, the highs and lows, and just, hey, if it ain't working, I ain't feeling you right now.
The only way I can do that if I'm healed. I can't be unhealed, right? And dealing with my stuff.
Yeah.
I got you. I put you in a pattern. I put you in once I meet you, we've been together for a while.
Yeah.
You're going to change, but you're going to be in a category in my habitual state of my life.
Okay.
Right?
Wow.
Think about what I'm saying now.
Yeah.
As a woman, you're going to put me in a pattern in your habitual state of your life that you're going through.
Okay.
If that deviates from what you're used to, it F's with your mind.
Yeah.
You see a change because now you got to change and adapt to something new and try to figure out what the hell is going on.
Yeah.
Whether you love that person or not, it becomes an issue. Right?
Because we're creatures of habit.
Yes.
But it so to that point, do we need to learn to ebb and flow? Do we, for instance, I as a woman may not like, I think about this all the time. We women want it's 11:15, maybe another 5 minutes we get out of here. Okay. I think about this as a woman all the time. Women, you want these boss chicks, blah, 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 and you want the boss men and all that kind of stuff. Well, when you get that, his mind is going to be different. His mind, he's going to be in an elevated state of mind.
Mhm.
He's not going to be able to coddle you. He's not going to be able to do the things that maybe a guy who's not a boss. I mean, maybe a good hardworking guy. So what do? Are you going to evolve and change and say, you know what? I'm not going to put the whole of my existence, my happiness on him. I'm going to use this as for what it is, a partnership. And I know we're going to come together, but I know he's out there handling business. To see you, it troubles me. It troubles me sometimes that when I hear you say, I can't really be in a relationship because they're going to question if I come with you. And what did I say to you jokingly today? I said, Joe, bring her on board. Let her come here and sit in the background and see.
And what did I say?
And you said, well, no. You said, I'm not doing that. You said, I shouldn't have to do that. And you shouldn't, because what woman, you're out here working hard. You're out here trying to get it. I will give you your credit. You're not playing any mess with me. Joe is about as I would call him. He calls me his sister, right?
Right.
He's about as loving to me, from a brotherly, like family perspective, friend perspective as can be. I think it's unfortunate, and I think it's sad that a woman cannot say he's gonna, may work with some women who are gonna be beautiful. There are the women Joe knows who are gorgeous and works with, and the fact
Women
that a woman
can
can't.
say it, okay, but
The fact that they can't do it experientially,
Yeah.
that saddens me because
Yeah.
I've got to ask myself, okay, Keisa, you're dating a boss guy. He's gonna deal with all kinds of beautiful women. Are you gonna be willing to let that relationship and that guy go because of your insecurity? Because people have to choose you every day.
But I'm gonna be very fair to the women.
Be very
It ain't
fair.
them.
It's not them. Who
It's
is
me.
it then?
I'm choosing not to have to deal with you or think about what you may be feeling.
No, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
At this stage in your life.
In this stage of my
Yeah,
life. Because
yeah.
even though your woman may be with you, if you have a woman, right?
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
not gonna say nothing, but she's gonna show it.
Where
You're
she's
gonna see it. You're
uncomfortable
gonna
with
feel
another
it.
woman.
Right? Yeah. You're gonna feel it. It's there.
Yeah.
Trust me, y'all.
Yeah.
Been in there, done it.
I strive to do. You're right.
Yeah.
Because I've been guilty of being that woman.
Yeah.
Let's just be real. I've been guilty of being that woman, but I strive to do better. I want to do better. I want
But
to
it's
be the
natural.
woman. I don't. Is it?
If my wife is working
How-
with a handsome guy every single day,
How do Hollywood wives handle that?
they don't. They deal with it just like we do.
Snoop Dogg's wife has been married to him for over 30-something years.
But she have dealt with some of everything. She had to find her own piece of why she stayed with him. through the
I want to
cheating
be
and
Snoop.
everything.
Not well. Let me be careful. I don't want to be Snoop Dogg's wife. I want to have a relationship like that where you can go and meet many women, have all the women all over the world. Hey, Miss Varian Walton. Varian, so he knows me.
Hey,
I work
V,
with both. Miss V.
She's the first woman who gave me my opportunity on national TV. So love you, thank
We
you.
love Varian.
Yes,
Varian, I love you. Raise your game, Joe, respectfully.
She knows what I'm saying. Thank you for. Thank you.
Yes.
Love you tons.
Love you, Varian. Yeah, that's an insecure woman. I think about Snoop. I think about Kobe Bryant's wife. I think about all the wife of these NBA players. Honey, wife me.
But
And
can I say
be
this,
an
though?
NFL or NBA player.
I really
Wife
wanna be-
me.
I want to be very fair to women, sis.
Okay,
Here,
be fair.
when people say those are insecure women,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I don't think women are insecure. I don't think some women may be insecure, but
Mhm.
it is
I'm
my
listening.
job as your man, right?
To handle that, to make you feel.
not insecure.
I
You see what I'm saying?
agree. I
But
agree.
but what I'm saying is that's just a conjunction here, right? That I'm using.
Okay.
I don't want to have to do that.
I know.
You see what I'm saying?
I know.
But that's what I want people to understand is
I know.
it is my job as if you're my man.
Yes.
I mean, if I'm your woman.
Yes.
Yeah, if I'm your man.
Yeah.
If I'm your man, to make you feel comfortable.
Yes.
I don't want to have that burden on me
Yes.
to make you feel comfortable, because that's a lot of work.
That's
When
a
I
lot
was
of work.
married,
That's a lot of work.
you know what I'm saying? Because what women do, if she's a very attractive, beautiful woman, right? You got to work extra hard to not be and show your wife
Yeah.
that, or your woman, that you're not attracted to the woman. That's a lot of thinking that you got to do, that you can't be free flowing.
Yeah.
You can't be like me and you, that we
Yeah.
talk crap, but it's nothing there.
Yeah.
You can't do
Yeah.
that if you're in a relationship.
That's
you got to
right.
be cognizant. And that's something right now, because I'm single.
You don't
I'm
want
not married.
You don't want that, right?
Why would I bring something else to mess with my space
Yeah.
when I go home or when I'm spending time with you?
Yeah.
And you got a small tad bit of attitude
Yeah.
because of what the picture you just saw or
Yeah.
something you done seen,
Yeah.
but you're not gonna say nothing to me, and I got to deal with that.
No.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I say we got, for this show, I think it's gonna take us about 2 to 3 years to get where we're going. So I said for 2 years, let me just focus on me. I've been married twice. It's not like I haven't experienced marriage. I got 2 kids.
Yeah.
I've done all of that. I'm not missing anything.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
if a woman does come along,
Yeah.
not saying she wanted next to you, but if a woman does come along, she's not going to.
Mhm.
What's the first thing you
Hey,
always say?
look, Anthony Anderson.
You better stop. Wow.
There's somebody who looks like Anthony Anderson.
Wow.
Oh, go ahead.
Man, I was looking back too. I was like, we should get him on the show.
He looks just like him, y'all. Before Anthony lost weight.
But and on that note, y'all, we about to get out of here. I'm not gonna say anything else. You guys make sure you watch our show, the Joe Lockett Show, this afternoon. Make sure you go and share our videos out there, our reels that's gonna come from the show, y'all. We appreciate you guys so much. My co-hosts have taken the show completely off the rails at the end of the day. Y'all think it would be me most times, right? But it is not. Okay.
You know that looks like Anthony Anderson, who prior to
I know who she's talking about.
Anthony Anderson.
I know who she's
prior
talking
to
about, but we're not
Nutri-Slim.
gonna do it.
KeisaSharp.com/life-coaching if you need some coaching through your trauma. And I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can introduce myself to Anthony Anderson.
But you know something, I'm gonna say this though, but on a real note, everybody, right? If you're going through trauma, right?
Yeah, seriously.
Make sure you seek help. Everybody deals with it differently. Every time, and we went, Clarissa and Ernest on our show last week.
Thanks, Clarissa
You know,
and Ernest. I enjoyed
They were
that.
saying something very, very profound, that you got to be careful who you trust your situations to, and make sure that they're really capable of helping you get through what you're getting through.
I agree.
So every coach and every pastor may not be equipped
I agree.
to deal with what you're doing. That may not go deep enough, right?
That's right.
So make sure you check who you're actually
On a serious note.
giving your information to, right? And number two, at some point, when you're grown, you got to work through it. It's not going to be easy.
Yeah.
That counselor can point out the issues. Counseling
Absolutely.
points out and help you understand what it is.
Absolutely.
But the work and accountability,
It's on you.
but always, no matter who you go see or how much money you got or who you are, you got to put the work in. You got to do the time. And it's not going to be easy. So if you're dealing with it, I'm speaking from a man point of view. I'll let Keith finish it up on one point of view. As a man, bro, you got to man up and handle your business, right? And stop today. Make a decision that you're not going to blame anybody else. Anything happens, you take responsibility for your part of it. You fix that. Once you started fixing your part, a lot of stuff started fixing themselves, because you don't find yourself in the situation that you put yourself into because of who you were before you decided to take accountability. That's my part.
I love it. I love it. It's all about taking responsibility. I will not say anything much different from what he said, other than as women, you know when you have issues, you know when you are causing unnecessary drama, you're walking around unforgiving, unyielding, trying to be the boss chick, but really you're dealing with some aggression issues and you're dealing with some daddy issues. Being disrespectful, being mean-spirited. Listen, at some point we've all played the fool. At some point I've been guilty of that, thinking that I'm boss chick, and the thing that I used in corporate America, I'm going to bring it into the house and try to because I have to play a different role in corporate America when I'm sitting across the table with a number of people who don't look like me. But in that relationship, a man is not attracted to your masculine energy. He's not attracted to you wanting to handle it. He's not attracted to you trying to tell him to sit down because you're pulling in a paycheck, maybe even a little bit more than him. Y'all, that's real talk. I don't know what else to tell you on that. And we got to be healed from that, ladies. We got to be healed. There are tragedies we've suffered. Our parents have mistreated us. Our daddies have not been there. In some cases, we were raped. In some cases, we were molested. We were mishandled. We were talked to really, really bad. But we have another day, as he so aptly put it earlier. We're here. We have another chance to get this doggone thing right and get you some help. Let me tell you in about 30 seconds the type of help that you can get. There are two ways that we can go at this thing. If you know that you aren't help, you can't overcome it on your own. Some people are strong enough to go read self-help books. I'm pretty good in that arena, but even sometimes I have counselors. I talk to counselors because there's some things that are just so deep that we need help. We need those who are stronger and have a bigger vision than what we do. Let me give you a real quick synopsis from your past up to today. That's where the counselor comes in. The counselor, the psychologist, and the psychiatrist, because they want to go back and they want to understand what you dealt with, what you have not healed in your past. What happens is they bring you right up to today, and by you getting it out of you, by you sharing it with someone else, but while with you having someone there to understand and walk back through your journey, that's what brings the healing, by you exposing that pain. See, a lot of you, some of you, you just need to go and tell somebody that you were raped. You need to go and tell somebody that you were mishandled and you hadn't gotten over that. You need to tell somebody that. And that's going to free you, because you're walking around with all of this stuff and this man can't understand why he can't get close to you, or you're yelling at him. You still mad because you got memories from daddy or when your uncle or your mama did something, okay? So the counselor brings you up to today. They go back in your past, bring you up to today. Here's where I come in and my fellow life coaches come in. We get you from the place of today and saying, hey, I have this problem, but I need to move forward. I'm tired of being stuck. I'm tired of hurting. I'm tired of making bad decisions. How do I move forward from this? That's where the life coach comes in. It's not an either or. In some cases, you work with both of them. Okay. There's sometimes the psychologist will recommend me. There are times I recommend the psychologist. We work together. And as a life coach, we're going to take you from today. We're going to move you forward. So you don't have to stay stuck and you can pivot. Okay, and you can move past it and use it as fuel to be successful in the future. Don't allow the challenge to hinder you and keep you out of the best relationship that you have. KeisaSharp.com/life-coaching. I understand fully. I'm normally called to women. Most times men feel more comfortable talking to men. I have a call talking to women. But I definitely can recommend out for my guys. But don't hesitate to get the healing that you need. Help me out. Help me out. I was trying to say, I was making sure I understood what Cliff said. Am I missing something? Help me out.
He's saying wrap it up.
Oh, wrap it up, be quiet. Okay, so that's
I
it.
ain't even looking, but I know he's saying.
Oh, you already know what he's saying. Oh, be quiet. But we got to tell people who we have next week.
JJ Pruitt from Fox 6 will be on, so you guys stay locked in. So happy to get our friend here, JJ, the one and only. Y'all see him every morning on Fox 6. Well, he'll be sitting right here on the Keisa Joe Show. You guys have a great day. The rest of the day, I will see you guys this evening on the Joe Like Show, and see you guys next week. Have a good one.
Bye, Instagram. I want to just talk.